Russian authorities are using a simple but highly effective tactic to prevent underemployed or out-of-work Russian pilots from working for foreign airlines. The Federal Air Transportation Agency, Rosaviatsia, refuses to confirm details about a pilot's licensing and work histories, citing privacy concerns. The consequence is that Russian pilots trying to fly for foreign airlines frequently find themselves out of luck and out of work. According to the Russian newspaper Kommersant, hundreds of laid-off or forcibly retired pilots have been unable to secure jobs outside of Russia because of this tactic. Previously, Rosaviatsia happily verified a pilot's credentials, as is the international norm. However, the president of the Russian Flight Crew Union says between February and June, around 600 applications for verification from foreign airlines had come into Rosaviatsia, but the agency confirmed details only on around 100 occasions. Most applications have come from airlines based in Vietnam, Thailand, Cambodia, Malaysia, and Turkey. This practice isn't new. The newspaper says it dates back to 2016. However, sanctions preventing Russian airlines from flying to many countries and a global pilot shortage have highlighted the issue. Recent layoffs and mandatory pilot retirement at 65 mean there are a lot of out-of-work but competent and qualified pilots in Russia. Typically, pilots are a fairly nomadic bunch and go wherever the work is. Indeed, it's not unusual for an airline to employ large numbers of foreign pilots. Behind Rosaviatsia's current reluctance to confirm a pilot's credentials is an edict out to the Kremlin to keep passenger numbers within Russia at around 100 million annually. Longer term, Russia's 2030 aviation strategy, another Kremlin pet project, aims to wean Russia's aviation industry off its reliance on outside nations, effectively turning Russia into a homegrown aviation powerhouse. But for both strategies to succeed, Russia cannot afford a loss of talent or exodus of pilots. The Russian government is now subsidizing some airlines to keep pilots on the books. Kommersant reports Ural Airlines had stood down 1,000 pilots in May, but had since recalled them back to work. Smart Avia is recruiting, and high-profile Russian carriers S7 Airlines and Aeroflot say they haven't stood down any employees at all. But the president of the Russian Flight Crew Union says despite some airlines keeping pilots on their books, incomes are falling because sanctions mean pilots are flying less, with incomes usually linked to flying hours. This is particularly problematic for pilots at Russian airlines, which usually have significant international operations. Despite the Russian government stumping up some cash to keep pilots employed, some are losing their jobs. The Volga Dnepr group of companies has also reportedly laid off all Atran pilots and all Airbridge cargo co-pilots. Nobody knows exactly how many Russian pilots have lost their jobs because of the pandemic and sanctions. However, the numbers are high enough to cause concerns within the Russian government. Meanwhile, despite the publicity, Rosaviatsia shows no indication of changing its policy regarding the verification of pilot credentials. It's possible to complain, said one government official, but if the no verification policy results from instruction or regulation, then complaining won't change much at all. What do you think of this situation? Share your thoughts by leaving a comment. In addition to our daily YouTube videos, Simple Flying publishes over 150 articles every week. If you're looking for the latest aviation news and insights, visit simpleflying.com.